Hello, everyone. This is Mai Vu Coach and my daughter Maya. We
Hello.
are back finally. It's been a few weeks since with my traveling schedule, living the van life, and Maya's birthday, 20th birthday trip. So we hadn't had a chance to check in and said, "Hey, girl, how's it going? What's going on with you?" So I'm so glad to be back with you, Maya. Of course, you're my love. You're like my most favorite person on the whole planet to be with. So I'm excited to be here.
Me too. I know we it's time for our update and our big talks.
Oh,
I'm
I was
actually I don't
making the
know what.
I was making the I'm reminded of our quick text yesterday when you wrote me and you're like, guess what? And immediately my brain went to, I'm pregnant. and then
No.
and then you wrote I ran into a spider in the bathroom and then one crawled on your arms and I'm like, at least you're not pregnant.
I'm so dramatic. I type in like all caps. I'm like, guess fucking what? There's a spider attacking me. And they're like, oh thank God. And I'm like, it's just as bad as being pregnant, to be honest. I hated it.
No, it's not. I have to always, like prepare my mind. It's like, it's okay if she gets pregnant. We love it. We can handle it. It's not okay. It's not like in the old days, So like that's mommy background
Well, it
management.
wouldn't be a teenage pregnancy anymore.
Boom, it's not the same. Oh my God. Hi, Ryan. It's so good to see you. Oh my God, that's so cute. Ryan is our friend on the other side. Ooh, Ryan, you can come on if you want to. No, you don't want to share your thing with him. Okay, back to Maya. So catch me up, girlfriend.
Oh, well, let's see, where do I start? When was the last time we even talked about? Oh,
Well,
I
the
think,
last time we
okay,
talked about, you revealed that you're still seeing Rod and you guys are forging a new kind of relationship where, you're not the traditional boyfriend and girlfriend, like you're mine and I'm yours thing. And he's encouraging you to
mm-hmm,
go and explore and be with other men and whatever. And I'm guessing that he's encouraging you to bring you back into, I mean, to share with him. But then I also noticed that was a part of you that was kind of like was not fully comfortable with being open and real about how you feel about certain things
mm-hmm,
if Rod was going to know about it. So there's something there that was
yeah,
bubbling in the background. That's what I know. That's how far I got.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm realizing that not that this situation is bad in any way, but I'm just realizing that this is, well, I knew it, but it's coming to reality that this situation that I'm choosing to be in is a lot more challenging, and there's gonna be a lot of just things to work on. And so like I like right now I'm kind of like trying to prepare myself. Like I feel like I'm like suiting myself up for battle or something. So I'm like, okay, like this is gonna be difficult, might be a little rough, but I feel like inside at the end or during or whatever, like it will make both of us better people. Will both become stronger. We'll have a healthier relationship, become even closer, and like just have a really good life experience going through this. So, but it's really
So,
scary. Like what?
well, I I know you're warming up to it, and I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like, what's the it? What's the this?
Right.
What's the
Right.
battle? What are we
Right.
fighting
Right. Right.
about?
Right. Yeah. So this whole situation it's pretty much kind of like an open relationship, right? So Rod and I still care for each other a lot. I would say we still love each other a lot, and so we still want to be there for each other. We want to support each other. Um, but we both want to start exploring and doing our own thing and having our freedom and not just be with one person. And at the beginning of our breakup and this another part of our relationship, it was just me that was, getting to go out and doing stuff, and he really wasn't interested in that in the beginning. And he was like, no, like I support you, like, you go do your thing. I want you to be happy. I'm happy if you're happy. I'm personally not really ready for anything like that, so I'm just gonna focus on myself and I'm not. So I felt extremely safe. I was like, this is the best position I could ever be in because I don't have to worry about him doing anything. Like my jealousy is nowhere. Like I'm like, I'm still his number one in, the list and everything, and but I get to go out and do things and then still have him there for me. So I loved it. But now we're getting to the time where, he's starting to think about it and he's like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, this is something that we both are going to be able to do, right? Like, this is right.
he's
Like,
he's preparing you.
he's like, yeah, that I'm going to want to start doing this sometime soon also. And he says that, and I'm like, uh-huh, yeah, I know that. But in my head, I'm like, I have not prepared myself for this. I have not gone, like I haven't gone through what he's gone through already in the beginning where he kind of had to deal with all of the pain and the jealousy and the insecurity and have to kind of process all of that and then come to terms and then accept that this is reality and he's, comfort himself and like he has
Yeah.
like he already went through all that and I haven't. Like I skipped right to just I'm gonna go into the jungle and like explore. I haven't prepared for him to do that yet. So I just know that's gonna suck because just thinking about it, like it makes me nauseous. Like
Oh.
it's such a emotional thing to like it like physically, I can feel it. So it's like, oh
Yeah.
God, like I'm dreading it so much until like talking about it, I'm like, oh God. Like it's a topic that I know I want to talk about, but it's also like just a really hard one to talk about.
Yeah. Like your
But I
heart, something inside one get
yeah,
it's about to be ripped out of you or something. Like it's a big
yeah.
loss. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, well it I don't know, like, cause in my, everyone's head, you have so many different thoughts. So I go through so many things. Like 1 second I'll be like super sad, just like whoa, like I'm losing him. Like he's not mine anymore. Like I have to completely give him up. Like I should probably just separate from him and not have to feel the pain and just push it away. And then, like then like a second after that I'm like, it's not that bad. Like he's still my best friend. He's still there for me. Like he's always gonna be there for me. Like, I'm not losing my spot anywhere. Like I don't need to worry about that. Like and then I'm like, okay, everything's gonna be okay. And then I think, oh my God, just the thought of him like touching someone, I'm like, I don't even know if I could talk to him or like touch him. Like I just, it makes me like nauseous just thinking about that because I'm like, that's disgusting. And I'm like, you can't think like that. So I keep going back and forth, back and forth. So, um, yeah, and here let's go over this what's going on right now, which is a really good warm up for us, I guess, to experience. So this has always been, I would say, I guess, kind of an issue in our relationship. The only thing that I
The
struggled with,
Emily's?
really, yes, in our
Knew it.
relationship. And so, just some background information. So he's had some friends before we even started dating, before I even met him, he had these friends that are girls. And I actually already knew them from my high school. And then I moved to this school and met him. So they were friends, but I had known these girls from another school. And pretty much, like, I moved to the new school, I started dating him, and I pretty much stole him from them. So they have a right to not like me. Like, I'm not trying to defend myself at all. Like, I took him from them. And so me and those girls just never really got along And, they, of course, still tried to hang out with him. They still tried to do all these things. And, like, to me, just their relationship as being friends was inappropriate. Like, I was like, no, you don't do that with your other girlfriends when you have a girlfriend. Like things like touching each other, like poking each other on the sides or playing with each other's hair, like for Valentine's Day or something, when we were together, they gave him a gift, but it obviously was like a joke, but they gave him condoms. And I'm like, really? Like,
Tacky.
ew. Yeah, that's gross. Come on, guys. And I'm right here. Like, I'm right here. Like,
Hmm.
just things made me really uncomfortable, and and I didn't like them as people. Like, they're very they were the mean girls in school, and like everyone knew that, and they were just always talking about people. Their own friendship group was just toxic. Like, they would kick people out like each week for no reason. It was just I just didn't like them, and I didn't understand why he was friends with them. Because I'm like, they literally are mean to you. Like, they call him stupid. They call him all these things. I'm like, that's not okay. Like, your friends can't be like that to you. So I don't approve of them, and I'm gonna use the word, I hate them. Like, they're the only people that I like absolutely hate, and like my blood boils just thinking about them. So that's the background knowledge. And I mean, I am aware that a lot of that is my own insecurities because, you know, really, are they a threat to me? No. Like, come on. And so I know it's something that I have to work on, but oh my God, these like past 2 or 3 years have been so hard. Like, I try to like fight that feeling of just like hatred and just so mad every time they come up, but it's just really hard. So that's something I'm working on. But anyway, this is why this is a warm up for me to go through, because this past week he's actually been out of town and he's been visiting them because they're out doing stuff. So
Are they
both of them are.
are they twins or something? Why are
Oh
we
God,
talking about
no.
them?
They're just.
Best
Can I just
friend.
use their name? I feel like everyone
No.
hates. Okay.
We
Their
call them the
names.
Karens. The
Oh God,
Karens.
their name. Okay. So they actually both have the same name and they're best friends.
Yeah.
And their name is Karen. We're going to call him Karen right now. And so I'm going to do Karen number one, Karen number two, because Karen number one I fucking hate so much. Like, that one is the one that I would probably get in a fight with. Like, I hate her so much. Karen number two is like her friend that I'm like, I don't like you either, but like I don't have as much of a problem with. So for the first like 2 or 3 days of this trip this week, he went up to Tahoe to celebrate Karen number two's birthday. And apparently she has like a Tahoe house and like it's really big, and they brought like a whole group of like kids, and there's no parents. Obviously, they're partying, they're drinking. And that was, he first told me that, and I was like, okay, like I can't hide anything with my face. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds so fun. Like I was like, ew, that's so gross. Like, I don't see how that's fun. Like, I wouldn't want you to do that, but obviously I can't control him, and obviously I'm not dating him. So like, I technically can't even be like, so who
Have
are
an
you gonna hook up with someone?
opinion. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, and like he knew it bothered me, so we just kind of sat there in silence while I'm upset, and just that's how we work through things. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm over that. Like, we're fine. Like, I'm okay now. What else? Because you said you're gonna be gone for like a whole week, so that's only like 2 or 3 days. What's after that? And he's like, yeah, so that's
Well,
what you're really gonna be upset about. And I'm like, there's more. Like, I already just got over this one. There's something worse than that. And he's like, yeah, so you know how Karen number one just moved to LA? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, so I'm gonna go down to LA and visit her. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me, right? Like, yeah,
emphasizing the
that's
word fuck.
worse. No, don't say that. No, I literally can't think about that.
It's
Like, I
gonna
will.
happen.
No, 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 stop it. Like, I can't think about
Oh,
that.
baby.
No, I'd rather oh God, like, if I don't know, like my psycho brain is like, if I found out that they did something, I would go psycho bitch mode. Like, I would go insane. And like, I don't do stuff like that. Like, I don't go crazy like that. But that's the one person that I feel like I would lose my shit over. Like I can't deal with this, and I feel like I don't know. So yeah, so I mean, he's actually down there right now. I think he comes back today actually, but so he ended up flying down there with two other guy friends. Um, I don't really know all the details because I honestly don't think I could handle that. Like I'm like I don't want to know. And so he went down there and stayed with her, whatever. Um, so when he first told me that, like I couldn't even talk because I was just so upset. And I knew that, you know, this was all my stuff to process, and so I just had to sit there. I think I sat there for like 15 minutes,
Oh.
just like in complete silence. We both just sat there, and I just like stared off, just like with a frown on my face, like trying not to cry the whole time because I was just like so all the emotions, so upset, so angry, so like hurt. I'm like, we went through our whole relationship, and you knew that every time you hung out with them, you knew that being friends with them physically hurt me. Like it upset me so much. And now you know, like you're gonna go and spend the whole week with them. Like it, you know, just me feeling like the victim. Like I can't believe you do this to me. Like I was just so yeah. And then I got over that. Well, I didn't get over it, but I dealt with it. I was like,
Well, you
okay,
felt
well,
it. No, what was
yeah.
awesome about what you guys did that was you didn't go into this physical rage or blaming and verbalizing and projecting your stuff on. You really just sat and felt all the feeling that came up,
Mhm.
and you knew that it was your stuff that was coming
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Doesn't help, but at least you know that.
I was
But
just gonna say
congratulations on
that
knowing that.
that almost made it worse knowing that it's my stuff because I'm like, fuck, like I have to deal with this all on my own. Well, not all on my own, but it's like
Yeah.
this is my thing to deal with. It's not that I can be
Yeah.
angry at him. It's not that
Or
oh
stop
he made
him or
me upset.
control him or
Right.
something. Yeah. So like the big picture is this is so good for you because then
I know.
you're like learning to work with yourself and your own jealousy and your own controlling issues and your own abandonment issues
Mhm.
and your own worth issues, right? So you
Yeah.
get that this is your stuff to love, not just to work through, but to love
Right.
about yourself. And to forgive and all that stuff, but and you're not projecting it onto him. You're and he's brave enough, like he's amazing, he's brave enough to sit there in that silence with you because that is not easy for men either, you know,
Yeah.
because they
I
would want to
know.
fix it or hide it or something. So there's such a good foundation for both of you to like whoo, courageously sit through that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, which I this would not be possible if we didn't have that, you know, way of dealing with things because we've always been very good at, you know, working through things and sitting through the silence and just, you know, like if any of us ever gets upset, like we will not leave each other until we feel better. Like it's just not even an option, you know. But like when he told me that at night, we were just sitting in the car and like so badly. I've never felt this urge so much just to like get out of the car, walk my ass home. Like I just didn't want to be around him. I was just like I felt like a dramatic like star in a movie. Like I just want to stomp home crying and just go and scream in my bedroom and like break glass and just like, you know, be pissed. And but I was like, don't do that. Like, you know that that's not gonna help you. And like, he's he's here. Like, he wants to be there for you and to help you and to work through it. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's even better. Okay, so then that uh, alone is amazing because like you're really working with yourself. Like you see the part of you that wants to go to the dramatic stuff and
mhm,
create drama and create more chaos and mayhem because you're hurting. So instead of sitting with the hurt and allowing him to love you, like some people could just like create bigger hurt, more
mhm.
drama, and if you had walked home in the dark, and then what if you got kidnapped or, you know,
Oh
or
God,
oh my God, right? Things would
yeah,
get so much worse, which is so stupid. But here, like you felt it, the inkling to go and do something dramatic and hurtful or violent in some
Right.
minor way, but you didn't do that and you chose to stay and let him just be with you. Nobody can fix anything because this is all
Mhm.
emotions that you have to feel, and you sat through that with each other instead of hurting each other or creating drama. That's so powerful, honey.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
non
he was,
soap opera is.
yeah. Well, it felt pretty like it was silent, but it was so loud. Like in my head, it was
Yeah.
just like it wasn't silent to me. It was just like I felt like I was running around. I felt like I was moving. I felt like I was like doing this, like everything was like
Slamming
screaming, and I
yourself
was just
against
like,
the wall and everything.
oh yeah, like I'm like sweating. I'm like breathing hard. Like I just was so upset. It was just, yeah, and it took everything in me not to just like leave and so, and then somehow I don't know how he does it. He always makes me feel better. He always, like, by the end of the night, like I felt good. I felt happy. I felt loved. Like I was like, yeah, everything's okay. Na na na. Like, and then. Like that kind of gives me hope for like going through this. I'm like, it's okay. Like it's okay to go through the hard times because you'll always be there for each other and you'll always work through it, and at the end of it you'll feel better, you'll feel stronger and whatever, but going through that every time fucking sucks. I'm like, I
It
hate feeling
doesn't have
like
to be
that.
every time, Bobby. And it's
Yeah.
like it's it's just a feeling. It's just a fear of loss, a fear of not being worthy, and we
Yeah.
just have to feel it a few times. I mean, how many times have you felt it? Three,
You mean
five?
every time that I've gotten
The
upset over
Karens come up,
stuff?
yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, many times, many times. I mean, when
Many
we were
times.
together, many times.
Right, but
And then,
so many times of that, but really the subject matter, this person, not just one person. Like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say is that this is something that all humans have to work through. I
mhm,
don't know why we suck at sharing. I don't know
yeah,
why we're so uh afraid of loss, and we think so little of ourselves. Like, if you really think about it, if you have love, how could you possibly lose it? Love is love
yeah,
is love. It's always there. But for some reason, we think love is like a chocolate bar. There's only so much. You take
yeah,
3 bites, 5 bites, and it's gone. And it's not. That's not it. And what your experience is real love. And who cares? Even if he marries her and have kids with her, who gives a shit? But for some reason we do. Oh, you're about to vomit.
I was like, absolutely not. No.
Honey, it just, people just have their own ride that they have to ride, and if that's what he
Yeah,
really chooses, he chooses. So what
yeah.
can you do?
Well, so, talking about like choosing which path you want to go through, like I mean, I have kind of fought with myself as well. What do I want to experience? What do I want to go through with this whole thing? Because either way, it's going to be a big thing to go through. So pick which one you want. So I'm kind of like,
Mm,
there's two options. One is to just almost the way that feels easier, but it would still suck. Like it would still be painful and it'd still hurt. But like easier would just to be, and what everyone else does, the common thing that everyone does is just to back away and run away and separate and like, okay, well, if you're going to do that and if I'm going to do this, then we
mm,
have to do it on our own, and we can't know about what we're doing because we're just going to hurt each
mm,
other, like
mm,
that type of thing where it's like, I don't want to know what you're doing, I don't want to know who you're with, where you are, like just don't, let's just not talk to each other, like just cut
mm.
each other out of our lives so we don't even have to think about each other, that type of thing where it's like,
Yeah.
maybe it'll be easier that way because then I won't have to get jealous over everything and hear about everything and go through all that, and but then I'm like, how can I how could I lose such a good friend and such a someone so
Stupid
important to me
way.
just over jealousy and pettiness and insecurity? How could I allow that to get, you know, in
Yeah.
between us.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so then the other option is to, you know, if we're gonna not be together, but if we're gonna be with each other in our lives and go through our journeys together, you know, uh,
More than that, Booby, it's more than just you and him. It's you and you, right? Do you want to be that petty person who can't handle her own jealousy and create
yeah,
drama and separation so that you can protect that little
right,
ego inside that can't handle it? Or do you want to like gently and lovingly, patiently, but walk with your own insecurity forward? Because this is not with just him. You had this with
hmm
your best friend, her name. I don't want to say her name. Whenever she has a new best friend, that used to hurt you, and but well,
hmm
all the stuff. So this is all inside us, our own insecurity and jealousy and unworthiness. We have got to walk with that part of us and lovingly help her grow up and help her see that she is loved, that she can't lose love, and that you love her and that you will not abandon her and you won't let her go into the drama queen place
yeah,
so that she can create the life that she wants.
yeah,
So it's your commitment to yourself that if you choose to stay this course and walk through these jealousy with your
yeah.
boyfriend, quote, your air quote boyfriend.
Well,
No, let's not call him boyfriend. That's not bad. That's
no,
bad conditioning.
I
What
call
should
him
we
my
call
best
him?
friend.
Your
I like to
best
call,
friend. Your
yeah,
BFF. Is it
best
BFF?
friend forever.
Your best boyfriend.
Yeah,
But it's getting me hot. This conversation's making me hot.
yeah.
It's like
Well,
hot flashing now.
yeah. So I feel like, see, I mean, my entire relationship, it's always been me. I've always known what to do, like here, and I've always known what's right. I'm like, this is, I've always known,
Yeah.
but it's always been like against the grain. It's always been what other people, as well, I was gonna say, especially at my age, but everyone's the same. Like, people don't usually change or grow out of their habits. But anyway, so it's just always been against what the norm is or how other people usually handle it. And so I just, there's always that one voice in my head where I'm like, well, like since no one else does it that way, like isn't that like unrealistic? Isn't that harder like that? Like isn't it easier
Uh,
just to do what everyone else does and just be normal and like, like going through the breakup or like something like that. Everyone's like, oh, you're not allowed to talk to him ever again. Like he's your ex-boyfriend now. You have to hate him. You can't talk to him. Like no, no. And I'm like, I can't hang out with him. They're like, no, you do not hang out with your ex-boyfriend. Like that's just not okay. Like that is not how exes work. Like exes are exes for a reason. They're your hatred in the world. I'm like, what? Like he is still so important to me and we're still, like I didn't understand that. So I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm not gonna, cut him off. Like I wanted to be friends with him. So I became friends with him. And that was a big deal because everyone was like, okay, good luck with that. Like if anything bad happens, just know that I told you so. Like you're the one putting yourself in that dangerous position. I'm like, what the hell? Leave me alone,
and how
So
are those people in their relationship?
yeah, I'm like, yeah,
Why
well,
would you
where's
take
your,
advice from those kind of people? Look
well,
at
that
their relationship.
I didn't actually take their advice
Right.
because look, I did what I wanted to do, but every single step and every decision that I
I
make,
know.
it's always like there's always that opposite where it's like, that's not normal. Why would you do that? Like, it doesn't work out like that. And I'm like, well, your way doesn't work either. So, anyway, so there's, yeah. So, like, I know that I don't want to say the right and the wrong way, but I know for me, like, at least the way that I'd want to go is, to experience it together, to work with myself, with him through it, and feel every single feeling through it. And, like, because I know that that would make me and him healthier, stronger on our own and together, you know, like I just know that it'd be better for us.
You make me want to
Um,
cry because I'm gonna have to change the branding again. So this is late night go chat, but it's also super bold, brave woman that talking right here.
yeah.
What you're saying is just so
That's funny how
powerful.
you can switch it like that.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
like
Bold, brave woman, like
I'm
late
like,
night
yeah,
go
so let's
chat,
talk
and you're
about
hanging out.
sex. Let's talk about sex, and it goes pink, and I'm like, but I'm really at least like I need to focus on this. Like switch.
But you are, honey. You're so bold and brave and so smart at such a young age. I mean, you came out that way, but it's just amazing to watch you really learning to listen to yourself. Oh my God, honey.
Mhm.
Like that, if anything, if that's all you get out of this is that you learn to listen to yourself and you know what is right and wrong for you. It's huge. I mean, God, I make money. I make lots of money because women don't know how to listen to themselves. And that's all that I could try to do for them is to help them listen to themselves and trust their own right and wrong. And then also help them with their jealousy
Right.
and their controlling issues. But
Yeah.
anyway, so it's like what I'm seeing in you is like you're really ultimately, despite all the noise in your head, you're still listening to your sense of self and what is right for you and what is good for you and where you want to be in this lifetime. I think it's so
Mhm.
pretty to watch your journey, baby. You're the
Yeah.
bomb. I love you.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, listening to that and following it is super scary. It's like,
Super scary.
are you sure? Like, are you sure? But it's just so clear. Like, the feeling is so clear. If I think about the other way, like,
Yes.
my whole body rejects it. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Like, it doesn't work like that. And then I think about the way that, the way that feels right. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's just like, yeah, yeah. And then I think about the other. I'm like, but what if? And I'm like, no, no, it's not. I can't. It just doesn't work. You
That's
know?
beautiful. I mean, it, just that alone. I mean, I, are you so proud of yourself and kind of like falling in love with yourself?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
I know that it's a pretty mature thing, and that most people, you know, I mean, don't know how to do that until they're older, or never even know how to do that. And like, I've always known that that was a strength that I've had. Um, but I also still, it's not like I feel like the all knowing and like nothing can, bother me because I just know what to do. And then like
I'm smart.
I still feel scared. Like I feel like I'm, like
Fucking
going
it
again,
up.
like going through a jungle, like, so does anyone have a compass or something? Like what the fuck? So,
You have an internal compass, and yeah, I mean, gosh, as your mom, I feel somewhat similarly. Like, part of me going, should I be supporting her in this? Shouldn't I be, supporting her and just like grab a hold of this guy and make him her own and marry him at a young age and just, I'm like,
since when do you
who's
think
that?
like that?
I
Where did
know,
that
like,
come
who's
from?
talking? Are you kidding? Snap out of it. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the what you're talking about, right? That's the cultural norm. That's what's happened out there. That's what we grew up hearing and watching and seeing people do, and then watching them crash and burn one by one by one. And I just kind of know that this is where you need to be. So keep going, girlfriend. You're doing a fabulous job with yourself. You're doing a fabulous job with him. You have a really good partner, a best friend, as you call him, to be going through this with you, and who is wise enough to know that it's his job to speak his truth, be honest,
Yeah.
and sit with you as you get upset. Now, I have to say, now I do have to inject this that I see that he does that. He's brave to do that. And sometimes I catch you suppressing yourself and not fully be honest with him and hide. a little of your desire, that
Yeah.
girlfriend is toxic. Like you have to trust him just like he's trusting you to tell him exactly what's going on for you and let him go through his stuff so that you
Yeah.
both are like growing interdependently instead of codependently,
Yeah.
and have room to grow and blossom. I'm sitting in this oh, can I flip the camera? No. Well, I can do that. I'm sitting in there looking at
Whoa,
all
that's
these
so
trees.
pretty.
I know, right? And
Oh.
they're all individual trees, but underneath the roots are connected, So
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing for you is you're learning to be connected with each other, but also be independent and grow your stuff. And oops, sorry, I touched the wrong button. Anyway, so I love you, and I think you're
But
going
yeah.
in a fabulous direction with yourself and your sense of helping yourself grow your self-worth and your confidence and face your fear and face your jealousy is so powerful. So keep going.
Yeah.
I love you, booby.
Yeah, I
I gotta
know.
go.
Okay.
No, I mean, are you complete? Do you feel complete
Yeah, I mean,
for now?
like when you talked about, what I need to work on, like still being honest with him, like that's a big thing.
Mm,
I know why I'm afraid to be honest with them because I just have the fear that if I upset him or if I, hurt him or if he starts to feel insecure or jealous, he's gonna push away and separate from me. And I'm scared of him, like, running away from me. Like, yeah.
losing him.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
that
that's,
means you're holding him this small instead of the ginormous man that he really is showing up for you.
yeah.
Right? And this is what women do a lot of times is that we shrink our men down and not treat them like the full being God that they are so
Hmm.
that they can really meet us and be there for us. I mean, so far he's doing a fabulous job, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
he is.
no need to doubt that, baby. Enjoy it and trust it and sit with him just like he sits with you in your jealousy.
Okay.
It all comes down to this. Everyone always say this. Oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings, which is bullshit. Basically, when we don't tell people the truth is because we're afraid they get upset and they'll leave us. So we're afraid of the
Hmm.
loss, not because
You're right.
that we might hurt their feelings. So, and you already know that, which is awesome. So it's not real. And you have to keep testing that out. You have to keep you get to keep testing it out. Oh God, this time he's gonna leave me. Oh God, this time he's gonna leave me. So that you can see that you are loved unconditionally.
Hmm.
That's like that with everything in the universe. We are loved unconditionally, and that we get to fuck up, we get to mess up, and we're still loved and we're still cared for.
Yeah.
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 On that note, I love you. Take good care of yourself. I'm gonna be home soon, so maybe we get to cuddle in the van.
Yay!
Yay! All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and being part of our journey. We chose to share ourselves in real time because we hope that it is helping as someone out there who, if you're struggling with your relationship with your mom or your relationship with your boyfriend or with your own jealousy or whatever, this is another option. So we love any comments that you have, any suggestions of other topics that we can talk about, um, all that good stuff. And if you love us and would love to support us, buy us a coffee. I just started a buymeacoffee.com /Mai Vu Coach. Mai Vu Coach is my name right there. So if you go there and look for Mai Vu Coach or Bold Brave Woman, you'll find it. And hey, we'd love to have a cup of coffee and support. But really, what it really is saying is that you're behind us and you would like us to keep going and that you find this
Hmm.
conversation valuable because it's not easy to be so vulnerable. Thank you, Maya, my
Yeah.
lovely daughter, for being brave enough to share your internal world to us. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. I love you, Booby.
I love you too.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.